Good morning, good people. This is your girl Reagan Adams with the Build a Man Workshop. Dating is dead. Who killed it? And patches and perspectives, so we make bad hair days look good. So y'all, when I woke up this morning, I had a thought, and I actually got the thought last Saturday when something happened. So I came on here to talk about what the thing was that happened. So when I got up, I was like, oh, I was supposed to talk to the people about this, but I didn't. So I was like, let me go ahead and do a video about it, which I could have done it Saturday, but I was like, let me just go ahead while it's on my mind. And so the topic that I woke up with is wisdom is currency. That's what God was talking to me about last Saturday. And what triggered it is, and it was a trigger, so I'm going to talk through that. Um, God was talking to me about finances. So there's going to be some things coming down the pike where your credit has got to be right. Like, I don't know what that is, so don't ask because I'm not really sure. But there is some things or some things that are going to be happening where you need your credit. And we always need our credit, but this is where, like, maybe, and this is just for an example because I don't know, maybe houses are going to be really cheap. Businesses, there's going to be options for you to get certain things, and your credit has to be right. And because of how the economy has been here recently, um, like, finances have been terrible. People have lost jobs. I've been one of those people. Like I said, I'm not working. I don't have a secular job now. I haven't worked for a while. Um, so people have lost their jobs. Their credit has been trashed. They've had to do things to, like, rob Peter, PayPal, like all the different things. And they're doing things just daily to survive. And so God was telling me, like, he was dropping in my spirit about bankruptcy. And so anytime I start hearing things or seeing things on a continual basis, I go research them because I know that's how God talks to me. I will start seeing things often. So I'm like, okay, let me go research about bankruptcy. And this is not kind of around the time Pinky Cole was talking about bankruptcy, but I started looking at bankruptcy and black people. Now, this message is for everybody, but I know my people, and my people, we don't tend to listen sometimes, okay? We're going to talk about that in a second. So what I had found was that all these people were attacking Pinky Cole because she filed for bankruptcy. And so I was like wanting to know, why do black folks think bankruptcy is so bad? Like, let me figure it out. And so it's a stigma that we feel like, for whatever reason, not sure, that filing bankruptcy is bad. But wealthy people do it all the time. Like, it's literally a reset. So as I was digging down into it, it's a reset. And the first thing, I've seen bankruptcy firsthand. When my father was alive, he and my mother separated, once you separate or divorced, and they had a lot of things, monetarily in common. So, once they divorced, my dad filed for bankruptcy. Listen to me, I saw firsthand how my daddy came up after bankruptcy. Like, I saw it. I saw it. He was able to obtain two houses, which he eventually gave to me when he passed away. He had two cars. Um, and his credit score was stupid. Like, my daddy came up. You understand what I'm saying? Out of bankruptcy. And once he got that reset, he was able to, like, really reset and start taking care of his business, taking care of his finances, because my daddy was really good with that. He kept up with ledgers and he was very thorough. So I saw physically what bankruptcy could do. And so, but there is a stigma against filing for bankruptcy, because people are like, oh my gosh, you should have just paid your bills and you should have just blah blah. But life happens. Life happens. Like, if I don't know nothing about life happening, I know about life happening. And so when I was going down into the my research, that's been on my brain. So one thing about me, when I know something, because I'm a researcher by nature, I like to help people with information. And I know a little bit about a little bit of, not everything, but I know what I know. And I don't talk about what I know unless I research it. And if I'm wrong, then I'm going to go back and research it again and find the right answer. And I'm going to go back and apologize and say, hey, I was wrong. But with this particular thing, because God was talking to me about it and that we need to reset, because that was the word he gave me for 2026, reset. And bankruptcy for some people, it needs to be a reset. And so as I was doing my research, TikTok is the best place for research. TikTok is the best place for information, period. If you don't like TikTok and you're a researcher, like, I don't know what you're doing with your life. It's a whole bunch of good information there. Not just dances. And so I ended up reading the comments because I'm a comment reader sometimes. And this lady was talking about MetLife. Now, can you file bankruptcy for free? Yes, you can. I think it's called Uplift, Upshift, Up something. Google it. Google Up. I think it's Uplift, Up something. You can Google, just Google file your bankruptcy for free. There's stuff where you can do it on your own. I personally would not do that because it's too much going on. I would want to hire a lawyer if it were me. So in the comments, this lady was talking about MetLife Legal. And I've heard of MetLife. I've had a life insurance policy with them. So I know about MetLife, but I didn't know they had a legal system that pays for your lawyer. So with like divorces, they pay your lawyer, estate planning, like all these different things they pay for. And bankruptcy is one of the things they pay for. So instead of coming up with, bankruptcies, I think they can go from 1,500 to 2,900. I don't know, depending on what chapter you file. Either way, it pays all of your lawyer fees, and all you have to pay is your filing fee. And the filing fee, when I looked it up, I think it was $338. So instead of paying thousands of dollars, you will join MetLife for $22, and you only pay the filing fee for $338, which I thought was a great deal. So once I found that information, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm going to share it with my community, because maybe somebody wants to file bankruptcy but doesn't have the money because of what I stated earlier, that you don't have thousands of dollars, because if you had thousands of dollars, you will be able to pay your bills. You will be able to go back and fix your credit, right? So I gave that information out, and I told people, because some people are not ashamed, but they don't want people in their business. And so when I put the information, I say, hey, here's the information. Call MetLife. I don't work for them, but I believe that's a good deal for somebody who wants to file bankruptcy, or for somebody who wants to do wills and trusts, estate planning, divorces. They pay your lawyer fee, and all you pay is $22 a month. People blow $22 a month in food. People blow $22 going to the Dollar Tree. We blow it. So if that is something that you can pay monthly and turn around and, get these things for less than nothing, do it. All right. So what I also found in my research is that you can file your student loans. And for years, we have heard you cannot file bankruptcy on your student loans. I know I've heard it. I've got friends with thousands and thousands of, like, six figures of, like, school debt. My sister's was actually just forgiven with six figures of school debt. And it is keeping them from buying houses, and like the debt to ratio, it is keeping them from buying these things. And so when I found out that you can file, listen to me, you can file bankruptcy and file separate within the bankruptcy to put your student loans in there. And I was like, oh my gosh. So when I found that out, I started doing another deep dive into research, because I wanted to knowledgeably talk to people about it when they ask, or when I posted about it. Because even though I tell people, don't ask me because I don't know, I know a little bit, but I don't be wanting to answer all those questions. So I get everything that I know, and I post it, and I tell you to call the people. That's what I do, because I don't like a whole bunch of questions. Okay. And so I had, this is what triggered it. So now I've pulled you to the front part of the story. Last Saturday, I was scrolling, and I saw, because Trump, I guess, is doing some things with student loans. And so people are talking about paying them back and forgiveness and all the things. And I was just like, I just went on the comment, because somebody was made a post about this particular thing and what you can do when people were complaining. Oh my gosh, I can't pay my student loans. I don't have money, blah, 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 blah. And then I simply just put, file for bankruptcy, and put it in your bankruptcy. Oh my gosh, why did I do that? everybody and their mama was coming for me. Everybody and their mama was coming for me because I said file for bankruptcy and put it in your student loan. Put your student loans in there. And people were like, "Oh no, you can't." And these are my people. My people. People, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. And so instead of like doing a knee-jerk reaction, just like, yes, you can, all I did was the information that I researched. I just did a snapshot. For people who don't read, I also clipped a video on there to say this is what it's called. It has a name. Some lawyers typically don't like to do it because it's separate from the bankruptcy, but you have to file bankruptcy in order to do it. So you have to do both things, but some lawyers don't want to because it is a lot. And you have to be able to prove that you can't pay the student loans. Well, duh, you wouldn't be filing for it if you could. And so there was one particular lady after I put, and she was the only one. So everybody who said something to me, I just clipped in the information. Okay. And then there was one particular lady. She was like, "Well, you can't do that." And I said, "Well, yes, you can. Here's the information." And I never even, I clipped in the information. So then her next response was, "Well, there's a low percentage of people. It's hard to do." So how did we go from, y'all listen to what I'm about to say. Hey, Sister Linda, how did we go from you can't do it to once I clipped the information in, it's hard to do? Then she came back and said, "I researched it." This is what got me. I researched it, and less than 1% of people have been approved for this. So I was thinking to myself, that's not true, because when I researched it, I saw the number 87%. Follow me. Y'all follow me. So I took her information and I Googled exactly what she put in there. And I said, I was just told by somebody that when you file for bankruptcy and you try to file for bankruptcy and put your student loans in there, that it is only 1% successful. Is this accurate information, or is it not? And if it's not, please give me the percentage of people who have been approved to put their student loans in their bankruptcy. Do y'all know what that number is? It was 87%. So 87% of people have been approved when they go in and put their student loans wrapped up in their bankruptcy, not 1%. So I went and clipped that in. I clipped that in with what she asked me and then the Google answer, because a lot of this stuff can be Googled. Why am I telling you this story? When I got her, I'm going to tell you, it triggered me because most of my life, people have, especially my ex-husband, people will always tell me, you think you know everything. You just know everything. You know it all. You know it all, Reagan. And the fact that I'm a researcher, I know what I know. And when somebody tries to tell me what I know, you better have proof that I don't know what I know. Because I don't talk about what I don't know. Like I don't. I try not to. I try not to make it a habit or to do it at all. That I don't talk about things I don't research or I know personally for myself, or I'm just going to say this is my personal experience. And what I know about people, especially our people, and just people in general, but definitely our people, the word says we perish for a lack of knowledge. Because my mama be getting on me about these scriptures. So let me pull it up. Because she said, Reagan, when you do these scriptures, you need to tell the people so they know. So I'm going to because I don't want to lead nobody to go to hell. Okay? So let's get the scriptures. We perish for a lack, here it goes. All right, Hosea 4:6. My people are, Mama, if you're watching, I hope you're proud of me. All right, Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children. This lady was rejecting knowledge. This lady was rejecting knowledge. And it was blowing me that she wanted to be right. And oftentimes people don't, and I'm one of these people sometimes. oftentimes people don't want to back down off of something because, oh, mama, yay, my mama said I'm proud of, and happy birthday, y'all. Today's my mama's birthday. Tell her happy birthday. Um, Oftentimes people want to be right so bad, they don't want to like take the information, and that blows me sometimes because I'm like, why would you do that? Like, if somebody is trying to share information, why would you reject information? And it's information that will help you, but you don't like the vessel it's coming from, or you don't like that you were corrected in a public space. And here's the thing for me, I like putting myself, and this is just me. I know everybody's not like this, but I like being around people who know stuff. And most of the people that I hang around know stuff. My mama knows stuff. My friends close to me know stuff. My sister knows stuff. And I like knowing stuff. I love getting information daily. I actively listen to people when they're talking to hear what I can learn. And oftentimes people will say, Reagan, you don't listen. I do. It may not seem like it on the front end. And even though I'm saying something with my mouth, I'm going to put what you say in my back pocket. I'm always actively listening because I want to know, learn more, do more with myself and with my life, but also to help people. And so when I finished looking at that comment, I was triggered. And I sat up on the side of my bed. I said, God, where is this coming from? Because I love to question myself. God, where is this coming from? Why am I so triggered that I'm trying to help this lady and she's still rejecting it? And God said, how do you think I feel? Ooh, this was good to me. This was good to me. Because God said he wants people to be saved. He wished that everybody be saved. But everybody not going to be saved. And a lot of people reject God. Matter of fact, sometimes in our sin and things that we do daily, we reject him. And so God feels rejected oftentimes. So he said, you're just getting a taste of how I feel daily. When I try to tell you something, you don't listen. You lean into your own understanding when he tells you not to. Right? That's good to me. And so God said, I just need you to get the information out to people, and he who have an ear will hear what I said through you. They'll hear, because I know information that I've given people. They've gotten married behind it. They've gotten engaged behind it. They've gotten student debt forgiven behind it. They've gotten in relationships behind it. They've lived in their purpose behind it. Their skin is better behind it. Things that I have said that God has downloaded to me, their life has been better. I'm just still working on my life. Lord, let my life be better. But my act of prayer was, God, I want to help people with stuff they don't know about. And I know that's going to piss some people off sometimes because of the vessel. Some people may not, they just don't like me. Some people think, oh my gosh, she says she a Christian, but she does this, because I'm not wrapped up in your Christian thought, how you act. And I'm not going to be, because I'm my own person. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made for how God made me. So I'm an unorthodox Christian. I'm not going to say what you want me to say, how you want me to say it. I'm not going to always act how you think I should act in a Christianly way. I'm not going to be that person. And guess what? I'm not going to apologize for it. Unless God comes and say, hey, Reagan, or the Holy Spirit comes and checks me. Hey, you better check this. You better check this. You better check this. And guess what? I don't want to be like everybody else. Like I told you yesterday or the day before yesterday, I shift atmospheres. When I come in, if you are attached to me, listen, I know this about myself. Your life is not supposed to be the same. If you listen, your life is not supposed to be the same. If we come into contact with each other, God wants to do something in your life actively. You can't come to me and sit still. You can't. You can't. And if you do, that's on you. It just is. And when I sat up on the side of the bed, I said, God, like, do I fix it? Am I too much? And God said, that's what the enemy wants you to think. The enemy wants you to think you too much. You're not for everybody, but you're not too much, because you coming in my name. This is good to me. You're coming in my name. Okay? And so God, I said, well, what do I do with this? Because do I keep sharing information? He said, yes, keep sharing what you know. Because if it's just one person is going to hear, one person is going to do, even if they don't come back to you and say, Reagan, I got this information from you. You have helped many people. And I said, God, who else in the Bible, this is good to me, who else in the Bible asked for wisdom? Who in the Bible was wealthy? And it came to one person, Solomon. Solomon was able to ask God for anything. Solomon was able to ask God for anything, and he asked for wisdom. And when I started reading about it, God said wisdom is currency. And what else was Solomon? He had the wisdom, but he had currency. And when you know something, you will always have money in your pocket. And so that even comes with my businesses. So now I'm starting to learn how to put myself on a schedule, because time management is just not my thing. I'm not going to say that. Let me take that out of the atmosphere. I need to do better, and I am doing better with time management. I don't like being on schedules. I just don't. But I have to be, for everything that God has called me to do, I have to get a time to it. So even though I'm not working a business, I have to put a time. Okay, Reagan, you need to get up at 5 a.m. Okay, from 5 to this, you got to do this. Okay, you're trying to get your health together. Okay, from this time to this time, you need to go walk. And I have my friends actively helping me, because we're all in the same circle right now. Right? Because we're trying to be each other's dream girl. We're trying to be our dream girl for ourselves and all of what God created us to be. And we have to have some discipline in some areas. I haven't been disciplined in a lot of areas in my life. I like to do how I feel and just catch the vibe as I go on with the day. But God said you can't keep doing that. You have to have some discipline. So my friends and I have actively been on the phone, and we're like, okay, we need to start budgeting. We need to start doing this. We need to start doing that. Okay, we need to put time to, okay, my friend, we done got in a group where we actively are walking and keeping up with the steps that we're walking every day. Like we're listen, and for me, it's a transition. Because also when you've been living a certain way for an extended period of time, it can be difficult sometimes to get on the schedule, get on the right track, and do the things, right? But I have a support system that helps me do that. But getting back to what I was saying about Solomon. Solomon asked for wisdom. And so Solomon was wealthy with wisdom stuff and principles, but he was wealthy financially in his pocket. And so my prayer to God was, Lord, show me the things that people don't know, readily know, or feel like they do know, and I have the answer to what they need. Y'all better hear what I'm saying. Did you hear what I said? That was my active prayer, because I know a lot of the little things. I know little things here and there. I do. I know. And I pride myself on knowing too. I like knowing things. I do. And I like helping people. So those two things go together. So that is not a prayer in and of itself to say for selfish gain. God, I want you to show me things. I want you to tell me things that I can help other people that they don't know about. And I don't necessarily have to get money for it, because I don't get paid for telling people a lot of stuff. But Lord, that's going to come with it. Why? Because my gift will make room for me. So that is my favor. That's my thing for you today. I'm going to hop off here because I got to go. I want you to listen, actively listen to people. Listen and do. Don't always reject the person because of who they are, because they may have some word in their mouth of something that you need, and you done already turned your ears off and your eyes off because you don't like them. And what if God was sending them to you? Because the Lord also talks about your enemy is your footstool. He could be actively sending your enemies to give you information. Y'all better hear what I'm saying today. But you done turned it off because, I don't like her. I don't like him. I don't care nothing about that. I don't care if I like you or not. I'm listening to you because God may be using you to help me. I'm not turning my ears off. I'm not turning my eyes off because I don't like you. I don't like what you said. I may need what you said. God can use anybody. Do you understand what I'm saying? So don't reject information. Don't reject it. And sometimes, a lot of times, God, his ways are not our ways. We were just talking about that. Well, we weren't, but my pastor was talking about that. God will give you, this is good to me. Let me slow down. God will give you an instruction that doesn't sound right. So like he was talking about the walls of Jericho. where he told the people, go walk around the building 6 times. And Lord, Mama, I'm not reading this right now. Y'all go look it up. Go walk around the building 6 times and then shout on the 7th day or whatever. I don't know, so the wall will fall. Y'all go read it, because I don't got time. I got to go. God, help the people on today. Help me to get these scriptures together. That's dumb. When you have an army, what, not dumb, because what God does is not dumb, but he will give you some information that don't make sense to you. You're like, that don't even make no sense. Why am I going to walk around this building and the wall's going to fall? Like, that don't even make any sense. So God will give you instructions that don't make sense. Do it anyway. Because why? You're being obedient. You're going to do your part, he going to do his. You're going to do your part, no matter how crazy it sounds, and he's going to do his. Right? He's going to make good on his promises. But you got to do your part. You got to listen. You have to listen. And in this day and age, you need to start. And I had a coaching session when I was at my mom's house. And this young lady asked me, I've been praying, I've been listening. And I even talked to one of my friends earlier in the week. I don't know how to hear from God. I don't know. But God deals with us differently. She said, I've been fasting, I've been praying, and I ain't heard from God. But we don't sit still to listen. And even if he told us and it sounds crazy, you'll probably reject it because you didn't like how it sounded. Y'all better hear what I'm saying. I got another friend. He's a dreamer. And we're one and the same people. So I understand. God told me he was a dreamer a long time ago. I already knew he was a seer. And he said, I have dreams every night. They're vivid. They're the this, they're the that. I said, you got to talk to God and have him explain what it is. He said, Reagan, I talk to God all the time. I don't talk to him about my dreams. I said, you talk to him and then he gives you the answer in your dreams. Y'all, and it don't make sense. He said these dreams don't make sense. So then now you have to go and start seeking God. Start looking at different things. Start listening to things. And God will give you the answer because God made you. He knows how to get the answer to you. He knows how to get the answer to me. That's when people are like, how you hear? How did you hear what God said? Sometimes it's a small, still voice in here. I've heard God's voice audibly a couple of times tell me some things. I see different things, different signs, different conversations. You have to listen to God in all the things, all the creation. He made the creation. He made the universe. He made all those things. So you have to go and listen and look for the answer. Sometimes it'll just drop out of the sky, right? I gotta go. But y'all don't reject information. Now ain't the time. Now it's not. There's so much going on in the world. You need to keep your eyes on God. You need, listen to me. It's not a want, it's a need. It's not a want, it's a need. If you need an answer from him and you need direction, he is always talking. He's always talking. He's always talking. Talk to him, then go get still. And even in life, if you're moving around, start listening and looking for the answers. God, and you're actively looking at, he going to give you what you need. Ask me how I know. He's going to give you what you need. And sometimes those answers are going to come and they're going to pull you out your comfort zone. Ask me how I know. There's things that he has told me to do that I don't want to do. But I want to get to the other side of a thing. So I have to do it. I don't have to, but I would keep going around in circles. And get God out of a box. Get God out of a box. Your ways are not his ways. They're just not. A lot of the time they don't make sense. They're not going to. Do it anyway. Don't reject information. Please don't reject information. I gotta go. This is your girl Reagan Adams with Dating Instead Who Killed It, the Build a Man Workshop, and Patches and Perspectives, where we make bad hair days look good. You guys have a blessed day. Bye.